What's up, guys? I had a plow mounted to a skid steer quick tack that I was going to weld up and make work with my tractor, but it wouldn't really fit and we had to cut it apart. It's set up on a skid steer quick attach, which I learned is not quite wide enough to fit the quick attach on my John Deere. And those skid steer quick tack plates are worth like $100. So I just decided, instead of destroying the value that something already had, I sold it for like twice what I paid for it. So I made some money on it, and I bought a new plow that I'm going to try and set up to work with my tractor. I wasn't planning on doing this today, but it's supposed to snow 6 to 10 inches tonight into tomorrow. So I'm going to show you what I've got, and we'll see how much progress I can make tonight. This is the plow. It is 7.5 feet. The other one I had was 6.5 feet. I got some of this angle iron with those I-beams and box tubing that I picked up about a month ago. I'm going to try and build a pole barn out of them. And then I picked these up off eBay. This is a John Deere quick tack. This is your hook and your pin. This closely mirrors the John Deere factory stuff. This is the bucket that I just took off. So you pull the cotter pins off the pins, you can just easily remove things, tuck the top under the hooks. So what I think I'm gonna do is basically lay this over those, weld that, cut a piece of that 3-inch 3/16 angle iron, and weld these pins to the bottom, and then weld it. I'll cut these stubs off here and weld it onto that, and then I'll just have to weld a couple pieces of that angle from top to bottom to make a frame. I don't really need a plate to cover the whole thing. I just need a pretty strong frame to connect them all. So once that's all done, because I'm using this real thick angle on the top, I think I can just take this chain. This would be what ran up to your cylinder on your truck. I should just be able to take that and make a mount for it in the middle and have a functioning plow. I do want to add manual angle to this. The last one I had, they just pulled these cylinders and put a pin through the middle here. They drilled this so that you can see these have these holes. So, and there's a hole right here. So you can just put a pin through to set your manual angle. So that's probably what I'll do with this for now. These cylinders are really heavily pitted, so I'm probably not going to be able to use those for power anything on this. And this particular tractor does not have a third function. It would be about $450 to add one. So I might do that at some point down the road. It'd be cool to have the power angle, but for now, I just want to get that plow mounted. And I'd really like to get it mounted as close to the tractor as possible, because I could fully tilt this. It's not like I have a wide pickup truck bumper that I need to clear, so I don't really need this plow pushed that far forward off the tractor. And I actually could cut this a lot closer up, but that would be a lot more fab, and maybe that'll be a project down the road. But for right now, we're just going to try and get it on the tractor. I think this thing should have plenty of lift power to pick that up even that far out. So we'll see how that goes. But I need to, this particular piece of angle iron is actually the exact right width, which I'll show you in a second. But then I need to start cutting the rest. So this particular piece of angle iron is like 44 inches, I think, which happens to, of course I drop it. Good thing I'm wearing steel-toed shoes. All right. It's 44 inches, which happens to be the exact width that these hooks need to be. So that's going to basically get clamped flat against those hooks and welded like that. For the bottom one, it needs to be 48 inches, so I'm going to have to cut 48 inches off of this this long piece of angle here. And this is actually, I was like, oh, I don't want to cut up this big piece of angle. This big piece here, it measures like 20 feet long, but it's not actually a 20-foot stick. I don't know if you're able to see this on the camera. It's 2 pieces, and they're not even welded together square. Someone just kind of blur welded them together. It's not even a good weld. I could probably break it just by pushing on it. But Anyway, so we're going to cut off 48 inch piece of this to weld the bottom pins to, and then we will have two pieces that need to connect those, and they will be, whoops, magnetic end there, pull my stuff off. We'll probably make those a full 17 inch tall for maximum strength. So that's the plan. I'm going to start cutting steel. So first thing will be to lop those 217s and a 48 off, and we'll be using the chop saw for that. Alright guys, sorry for the crappy videography. It's really late. It's around midnight. It's supposed to start snowing in 3 hours, so I was just trying to rush to finish this up. So this is it. My light died on me. I didn't feel like putting another battery in. I was just pulling those hydraulic lines. Ended up being mostly off camera, not on purpose, just didn't aim it very well. So I'm pretty happy with the basic frame. It's welded up. I feel like the welds are pretty good. I welded this hook in. I was told that you needed to have that on a chain, but I don't know. I haven't plowed a whole lot with the truck, so I'm not sure. So I looked at some online that were built to mount an old truck plow to like a skid steer, and they have a hook for the chain. The other one that I had steel welded down to this. And I've seen other ones online that were the same way. So I've seen them this style with the chain, and I've seen ones with steel that welds down diagonally to this. I don't know which one I'm going to want. You know, normally you would have this would go back to your bumper, and you would have your cylinder raising up and down like on a truck for this, and this would raise it up and down. It would pivot here. So we basically took the pivot out by welding it solid. So I don't really know like how much the chain is doing. Maybe I shouldn't have welded it solid. I don't know. The other one I had that was set up for a skid steer was welded solid. So maybe if this bends, I'll end up coming back and doing that. These cylinders are real pitted, so they're probably not going to work with a hydraulic pump. But if you look at the way they're mounted, they actually like kind of triangulate this. If you just took them, I was just going to take them off. And if you take them off, you have this roll assembly here and this pin. That's like kind of all that supports that. So what I was thinking, I can't really do much with this myself because it's fairly heavy. You can see those cylinders move a little bit. So what I'd actually thought is if you tilt it one way, because these both are full of fluid, if I tilt the plow all the way one way and squirt out the fluid that's in one cylinder, and then tie maybe, I'm not sure if I have one good line or not from those old hydraulic lines that are down there, but if I had one good line, I could cross it back, and then these cylinders could stay on. And when I wanted to tilt it, I could just push it against something to tilt the blade and slide a pin through those holes. But we'll see. I don't know if that'll work out or not. Maybe that's just crazy talk, but anyway, I'm gonna put the tractor away. I'm gonna go inside and get some sleep. It's been a late night. I just got carried away. I was fixing the camper roof earlier. I wanted to do that before the snow hit, and then of course I had that plow, which I sold just a day or two ago. I ran out and bought this. I only paid 75 bucks for this, and it's in rough shape. You can see where the feet go. It's all rusted out. I don't know if you guys saw me weld this up. Somebody had actually welded something like this on my old one. Otherwise, I never even thought of that. I would have went to Tractor Supply and got another spring, but it should work. Should get me through tomorrow. Or if it breaks, then it breaks. You know, it's one of those things. Welding springs, don't really have the expectation that it would last, but the guy who had it on the last plow, apparently it worked out for him. Anyway, thank you for sticking with me through this. We're supposed to get like half a foot of snow tomorrow, so I should get some action shots of it plowing. The snow is supposed to start in just a couple hours, so we'll see if it works. We'll see if it doesn't. And this may be like part one of this will be the beta of the plow build. This thing's heavy. You can definitely feel it on the tractor. I don't like the way it sticks out quite that far, but for now it's fine. It's on there. I can plow with it. I'm not going to be plowing with it up in the air. Got the box plate on the back. It weighs a little bit. That's what I was working on. Hopefully that video will be posted by the time this video gets posted. So I'll see you tomorrow plowing snow. Thanks guys, have a good night. What's up guys? It's the next day and we got a ton of snow. Probably, I don't know, 4 inches. And we're supposed to get a couple more. They're saying 7 inches total. So it's pretty light and dry, but I want to go ahead and try and start the tractor up and start plowing it. I'm gonna have to move the cars around just a little bit, and the dogs are going crazy. There's my son. Try and stay out of the snow, bud. You're gonna get cold. So the cars aren't parked very well for plowing, so I have to move them around, and then I'm gonna try and get the tractor going, and we'll see how this new plow works. I'm gonna have to push it up against something hard so I can angle this plow and then put a pin in it. But I'll worry about that once I get the cars moved. Wow, that was this is a 7.5 foot blade. So my other blade that I used to plow backwards with was only 5 feet, and I think it may have been 6 feet. And the plow that I sold that I never got to use was 6.5. And this is just so fast. Like basically, if you could see the right way down the driveway, you'd be like 1 trip down and 1 trip back. With the weight of the plow digging and the snow behind it, it does start to slide because I don't have the front chained up. The rear on this tractor does have chains, which I'll take you off here. There we go. This is a John Deere 2210. It only weighs like 1,300, 1,400 pounds as a base weight. This one has the loader, so it probably adds another 400 or 500 pounds. I chained up the rear at the beginning of the season. The tires are okay. They don't have a ton of tread. And then while I was plowing, I pulled out in the yard there for a minute looking for my box weights that were buried in the snow. I have four 100-pound plates, but because of the design of this blade, where they're closer to the ground, I wanted to use these 40-pound plates. So that's 5 400s, sorry, 5 40s, so that's 200 pounds. That balances out the weight of the plow, gives me a little extra traction in the back, and it helps this box blade cut. You, of course, couldn't see backwards while I was plowing, but I was using that blade to push up some of these big piles. There were just some spots where the blade being angled, the box blade worked better. But as you can see, that was no time at all, and the entire driveway, the mailbox is clear, the cars are completely cleared out. So this is great. If this thing holds up, I mean, I could make money plowing other people's driveways. I usually don't have time to do that. Too busy plowing my own or shoveling my own, but yeah. I did go ahead and put a I put a turnbuckle out on my trailer. I just figured why not, like it'd make it a little bit stronger where the chain was. I thought about it when I woke up this morning, and I was like, you know, I really should have put a hinge down here or welded this part solid, because it doesn't make sense for the top to be supported by a chain and the bottom to be welded solid. But realistically, if you think about how it's mounted on the truck, I think it's so strong the way it is. I don't think it's going to matter. I actually think this is a pretty good setup. I'll be surprised if it breaks, but you know, it might. Anyway, thank you again for watching, staying up with me last night while I worked on it, and I'm glad I did. My heart goes out to everyone in Texas that's dealing with this cold. I'm in West Virginia. We're kind of used to it. We're ready for it. So stay strong, guys. Stay warm, and elect better leaders, I guess, that have you as their priority and not lying in their pockets, which I know it's hard, but it's pretty terrible what's happening down there to you guys. So stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you on the next video.